up, guys, and welcome to episode 7 of the Loud and Proud podcast. You're probably 100% seeing my face this time. The last 2 episodes I have not been there due to technical difficulties. But we're here, we're back, we're rocking, and I'm going to try harder next time.
You will do better.
Fuck. Man, it's just my idea and I'm fucking the whole thing up. But I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. Last episode was really cool, talking Download Festival lineup next year and the new Slipknot masks. And look, the beautiful Jazz, he's here, still beautiful.
He's still here. He's not been frightened away yet.
He's not been fired yet.
Yeah.
Shit, if anything, I should be fired. Does anyone want to take my place? Anyone? Any takers?
The professionalism remains, I've got to say, from the get-go.
Look, let's just face it, all right? I like to keep it loose. I like to keep it real. If it fucks up, you know about it. I'm not ashamed. These things happen.
Yeah.
Okay? So, Jazz, what are we talking about today, my friend?
Yeah. Well, we've talked a hell of a lot about like bands and stuff like that, and festivals and, guitar players and stuff like that. But this time what we thought we'd do is we'd take it all the way back to the beginning and talk about guitars and all things guitar related.
Yes, all things guitar related. So, probably the best place to start off is... what do you reckon? First guitars or what made us pick a guitar up?
First one has got to be the attraction. What made you pick it up?
Okay. Well, a lot of you even know this story. For me, I'll keep it short because you've heard it a bunch of times. Even you, Jazz, you've heard this. My good friend Chris Lamport, when I saw him playing guitar, he was playing the Enter Sandman riff, and I wanted to make that noise. And I'd badger my mum and dad. I was like, Mom, Dad, I want to do what Chris does. and that's pretty much what made me want to play guitar. My good friend just wailing on his guitar through a Marshall, an Ibanez Tube Screamer, making just some seriously just filthy noise. I had no idea about tone or anything back then, but I just knew that is what I wanted to do. I needed to do that. And that, for me, is where my journey started. So nice and sweet, short and sweet, because you've all heard it before. But Jazz, let us know.
Oh, gosh.
Give it to us.
Your one's just so simple. It didn't need to be any more than that. It's just there. It is. It's so simple. My one, okay. I was 14 and I didn't have any like hobbies or friends or anything like that, and I like extracurricular activities. And I'd done the whole thing of like, in like little school, like going to like the after school football club and all that sort of stuff. And none of it just seemed to stick. And everybody seemed to have a thing apart from me, because I fucking hated sports and stuff like that. And one day, my nan, it was weird. I think she'd been saving behind the scenes. She got me up one Saturday and she said, "Right, we're gonna go down to the guitar shop. We're gonna buy an electric guitar, and you're gonna have lessons at the place around the corner."
Boom.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, am I?" sort of thing. and yeah, sure as clockwork. We got ready. We went down to this like ropey old guitar shops.
Yeah.
It's not even there anymore. It's called Hammer Sound. And I think the guy, when we went in, just basically, old guy fell in love with my nan. So like he was wanting to, I tell you what, when we bought the thing, he even drove us home.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he drove, because it was in a big box. And we went and bought this. So like anybody who's listening on Spotify, obviously you can't see it, but this is my first guitar, Strat knockoff in true fashion. We went in, told him what we were after, and he went, "Okay, got just the thing for you." He said acoustic or electric. I said electric instinctually without even knowing, and he handed me this and he went, "Oh, cool." And he went, "Oh, you're left-handed." I went, "No." He goes, "It's the other way around." Oh, okay. Switch it back around. And at the moment I picked this up, and it is weird because for anybody who's wondering, if you go back on my channel and watch, there's a video on there about I've got my first guitar or something like that, because I was estranged from this for some years. It was actually at my cousin's place. And like coming full circle, I cleaned it up, put new strings on it and played it. There's a whole video on there. And yeah, so that was it. So then I went for guitar lessons, and like I said, I didn't really like music. I liked music, but nothing that I'm into now. And then I started having my guitar lessons, and once my guitar's teacher started to show me what you can do with electric guitar, I knew I wanted to do it. And then a few weeks later, because like as soon as I got it, because it came with like an amp, a strap, a bag, a stand, all that little thing, and in there was a DVD. Put the DVD on, and I was trying to work it out, like the G chord and stuff like that. Even before I was having lessons, I was quite hellbent on the idea of it. And then I started having lessons, and as soon as I started having those, a couple of months later as well, heard Metallica for the first time, and that was it. I was sold, and that is literally how I started playing. As soon as that band entered my life, I knew I wanted to play anyway.
Yeah.
But as soon as I heard that band at such an early stage as well, because I was playing and I was having fun learning riffs like Seven Nation Army, Smoke on the Water, all the stuff you learn when you're a beginner, Back in Black, Crazy Train. But I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it. And then when I heard that band, bang, I was like, right, okay, got this. This is mine now.
Boom.
This is what I want to do.
Shit. What a story. The guy at the guitar store had the hots for his nan.
I would always say, especially to my students as well, I don't want to spend too much on a guitar. This goes for all guitars. But I would say get yourself sort of mid-tier, so you don't want to, because you're not wanting to spend a load of money. Factor in £50 into your budget to get your guitar set up. You could go and buy a fancy ESP Jackson, Gibson, fresh off the factory line, and that don't mean shit. It does not mean it's going to play great. That knockoff Strat is one of the best playing guitars I've got, because it's been set up correctly. So there's a little bit of some free advice from your uncle Jazz.
Well, yeah, 100%. So those were our first guitars. Comment below what your first guitar was. Also, hit that subscribe button. If you're listening on Spotify, come and follow us on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, go follow on Spotify. The link will be below. And we love you very much. So moving on to there are our first guitars. Let us know down below what your first guitar was. Now moving on to upgrading guitars, right from that first one. I've got a pretty cool story that, do you know what? Actually, it almost makes me like tear up a little bit every time I tell this story.
Okay.
And so if I do get a little bit emotional, a bit shaky in my voice, understand I'm not a bitch. So I had that Black Encore, super cool, and I'd been playing it for a few years, and I started to improve. My playing got better. I got more into guitar, and I wanted to keep playing. And it was obvious that this had become like a huge part of my life, and it wasn't just a hobby kind of thing. So I was talking to my parents one day, and I was like, because I was watching a lot of Zakk Wylde stuff at the time, and I was like, Good education. Yeah. Started drinking at age 12.
Yeah, started drinking then, funnily, too.
My first rehab visit was at age 13. Shit, thanks, Mum and Dad. No, love you, Mum and Dad. So I wanted a new guitar, and I said to them, I was just like, I really like this guitar. Look how cool this guitar is. And we went to this guitar store, right? I'm so fucking gutted that it's not around anymore. It was called Surfing Monkey, right? Surfing fucking Monkey. It was a huge warehouse, right? You go in, there's just like, it's massive. There's guitars on the walls, guitars on stands. They had drums, the whole everything. And I remember my dad took me there one day, and I went in, and I was just like in heaven, because I'd never been to a guitar store before. So this was kind of like my first kind of time going in, and they had loads of guitars. And I remember looking around, they had some Epiphones, and I saw this one. I think it was by Jackson. I'm not entirely sure. It might have been. But it was like this matte black, like Explorer kind of shape. But it was all pointy and fucking evil looking. Yeah. And I saw that and I was like, whoa, look how cool that is. And I played it. And I remember the guy in the store was teaching me how to play, For Whom the Bell Tolls in the store, which was really cool. So that's where I started to learn that riff. And I was looking around, and I played that. I played a couple. Then I played this Epiphone Les Paul Special 2, right? It was like a cherry sunburst kind of thing. And I think as well at the time what influenced that is obviously the Zakk Wylde thing with the Les Paul. But me and my brother were also watching Use Your Illusion, Guns N' Roses. Yeah. So there was a lot of like Slash in my life at the time. And so I picked up this Epiphone Les Paul Special 2 and I looked at it, and on the truss rod it said Gibson. And I was like, oh, Dad, it says Gibson. That's so cool. Oh, my God. And he's like, oh, do you want to play it? I was like, yeah. So I played it. I was like, oh, it's really cool. Yeah, I really like this one. Finished up the whole day. And we left. And I remember the whole car ride home. I was like, oh, Dad, it was so cool. I really like that guitar. It was so good. Yeah. Oh, I love playing it. And I was just in love that it said Gibson on, you know. You're a kid. You got no money. Your parents are buying. It says Gibson. Fucking game on. Yeah. And then I remember I went to school. I think it was around my birthday, 9th of December. If anyone wants to buy me a birthday card, just hit me up.
Man, he gets all his Christmas presents and his birthday presents in one whack.
There you go. God damn. And I was at school. I came home from school, and I came upstairs, went into my parents like, oh, there's something in your bedroom. I was like, what? I went upstairs. I opened the bedroom door. And there it was, standing there in the middle of my bedroom on a guitar stand, was this Epiphone Les Paul Special 2, Cherry Sunburst. And I remember I was like, fuck me, I was so excited. Like thinking back now, I can feel that excitement that I had when I got it, and it was just stood there, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, it says Gibson. And I ran over to it, I picked it up, and I was playing it, and I still got it now. I've done a video on it, you've probably seen it on my channel. And I played that thing. I learned so much cool shit on that guitar. Yeah. A few of the things I remember learning: Am I Evil? Seek and Destroy. Nice. Velvet Revolver?
Yeah.
They had a song called Fall to Pieces.
Not off the top of my head.
Right.
I remember Slither though.
So it had this like lead line in it. It was like and
I know the one. Yeah.
My mate Chris was trying to teach me that on it. I remember learning that on that guitar. And mate, that guitar's been with me since then. And I'll be honest, it's still a fucking cool guitar, right? Like I really set it up recently. And a cool story with that guitar is a huge chunk of wood, right? It was on a wall hanger in my bedroom. And I had a bed, it had a metal frame. I was laying in bed one night. Just peacefully relaxing. Waiting to go to sleep. Just as I closed my eyes, the almighty thud came down. And I was like, wow, what the fuck was that? And I got up and the guitar had come off the hanger. Hit the corner of the bed. That's why that guitar now has got a massive dent in the bottom of the body where it chipped the wood. But Jazz, what was your go-to after that?
Mine's a story of mine. I had no romanticism to it like yours. Mine's a story of instant regret and a constant search.
Okay, right. Instant regret. That's always a good thing.
I am the guy who's constantly searching for the next thing.
Yeah.
My guitar teacher played Ibanez, and there was a kid in my class who had an Ibanez Ibanez RG370DX. Low-end Ibanez.
Fuck Ibanez, man. Their fucking model names are so shit.
270 quid off the shelf, I guess, at the time. And there was this one. It was the one the other kid in the class had, and I just knew Kirk Hammett. Played black Super Strats. My guitar teacher had a black Super Strat, had the bar on it, and I wanted to do all that stuff. The low slung big fat guitars thing hadn't kicked in for me just yet at that point.
Right.
Yeah. So the whole low slung fuck off Explorer Flying V thing, they're my favorite shapes. But that hadn't kicked in at that point, and you're influenced by what's around you. And I saved, and my nan helped me out. My nan's always supported me.
Shout out to Jazz's nan. If you're watching this, we love you.
Shout out to my nan. I mean, even to this day, it's like she takes an interest with she's like, oh, you're working towards that. She still helps me out with like gear and stuff, which is nuts. Because she knows it's been pretty much a lifeline for me, guitars and stuff. She knows I don't really like anything else. So she's always wanted to sort of be part of it, if that makes sense.
Let's all give Jazz's nan an interactive hug right now. Yeah, let's get in there, guys. Get in there.
Fair play to her. And I was after this Ibanez, and there was one in back alley, and I saved. Went out to Chester, the nearest city, town to me where it was in the shop, and bought the thing, got it back, and you know the first thing I did? I said to my I need to get it set up, because that was the rule back then. It was instilled to me early, and it was super serious, you know, I was 15, need to get this guitar set up. So I thought, I know what I'll do, because my guitar teacher would do the setups. I thought, I'll make it easy for him, so he does, you know, so like, because all he required with the setup is obviously the money and a new pack of strings. And it came with a floating bridge on it, Ibanez's Edge 3, which is a terrible tremolo, okay? Terrible floating bridge. And I thought, I'll make it easy for him. Brand new Ibanez, right? So I thought, I'll take all the strings off. Just to make it easier for him. And I remember I called him a second ago for a setup. I brought it around to him and he was like, what have you done? He's like, did it come like this? And obviously I was none the wiser. He's like, did it come like this with no strings on? And I was like, no. I took them. You took them. He's like, do you understand? But like you trying to explain it to me, I couldn't understand because the thing with the springs and the back and you've got to get it level. It's a nightmare, especially with a bridge like that as well, which is like a low end. It's not a Floyd, you know, which are bomb proof. Anyway, so he said this is going to cost more than you know, the amount I quoted. Just so he quoted me, and it's weird that guitar was never right ever since, even when he balanced that out. But by that point, when I started playing that guitar, I knew that this was not right for me, even though it had the really flat neck that I wanted because it was going to make bar chords easier. Yeah. Even though it had the humbucking pickups that was going to give me distortion. Yeah. From the get-go, it just wasn't right.
Okay.
And I remember being nothing but dissatisfied with that guitar.
Yeah. I think as a guitar player, you know, with a guitar,
you know straight away.
See, this is a teachable moment, kids. This is why I always say when people ask me, I'm tossing up between this guitar and this guitar, what should I get? Go and play it. Because you might look at it and think, oh, fuck me, that's awesome. Oh, look, I've seen videos, it sounds really good. But you go play it and you see how you feel playing it. That's what's going to set it for you, 100%.
100%. And I'll tell you, I learned the hard way with Explorers. I had an Explorer back in the day. We'll get to that in a bit. But like, I was okay with it back then because I was used to guitars that sat on my lap. Yeah. But after many years of playing Flying V's, when I started to get back into Explorers again, because the Explorer probably is my favorite shape, I had a fucking nightmare no matter how cool it looked. Right? And it's the same thing, and the proof in the pudding with this one is Matt Tuck from Bullet My Valentine, for any Bullet fans out there. He's sporting a Gibson Explorer Custom at the minute. And in a recent interview, somebody said, oh, you've moved away from Flying V's and you're rocking this Explorer now. How are you getting on with it? And he was like, yeah. He's like, still kind of bonding with it because of the way it sits and stuff. And yeah, it's an absolute mindfuck. So yeah, Go and play it. If you've got your eye on something, I didn't go and play the Explorers that I wanted. Or my first proper Explorer anyway. If you go and play it, you're gonna know instantly whether you like it or not.
Yeah, that's a huge teachable moment.
So yeah, I guess that takes us on to the next stage, which is growing from there. Guitars that you buy with a little bit more education, a little bit more of an idea of what you want because your playing's starting to come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that for you?
As I was kind of advancing in my playing.
Yeah. When you knew, right, I'm ready to move on now to something else.
Right. So I had, like, when I mentioned that Epiphone, I had that. Then I moved on and I got another Les Paul copy. It's like a black one by a company called Nevada. Got it off eBay.
Didn't you set that on fire?
Yeah, I set it on fire. But that had my first set of EMGs in.
Fanboy.
Yeah.
Fanboy.
The first set of Zakk Wylde EMGs I ever bought. The first set of EMGs. Nice. So I got that, but obviously that guitar was with me for a long time, like through college and shit. But as I was improving, I was getting into it, and I was like, fuck, this is my thing. This is the one thing I know how to do. like well.
Yeah.
And I think the first ever kind of like high-end guitar that I invested in, which I did sell, and I'll tell you why. But I bought an ESP LTD EC401 in satin black with gold hardware, gold binding. Right?
Nice.
So I bought that. It was like fucking hell, 400 quid, 400 and something quid, between 400 and 500 quid. And I was like, okay, this has got EMGs in. You know, this is a huge upgrade, you know, like quality-wise, company-wise, you know. And I got it, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. You know, I got this Les Paul shape, but it's kind of like cooler because that kind of pointed little cutaway.
Yeah, right on the bottom there.
EMGs, it was satin black. It was just cool. It was very Metallica.
Yeah.
And I had that for a long time. I learned a lot of. My playing progressed a lot with that guitar because it was set up great. It was in tune. It was amazing. I played a shitload of time. That's the guitar that I learned. My beard keeps getting caught on the microphone. Subscribe and
Who's
follow.
laughing now?
Subscribe and follow on Spotify. So that guitar. I had that. That was actually the guitar that I learned Lords of Summer on.
Oh, nice.
And that through the Black Star TVP 100 was just a fucking recipe for absolute chugstruction. I had that guitar for a long time. And that's the guitar. Remember the video that I did about how to clean a satin finish guitar?
Oh, and you fucked the finish up.
Yeah. So I had no idea, right? I sprayed some polish on it and I started wiping it. I was like, this ain't right. And it was left with this like shiny patch on the fucking...
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this ain't right. But I loved that guitar. It was great. But I did sell it, and here's why. Actually, no, I can't.
Because you fucked up the finish and you thought, I'll force it on some poor motherfucker who doesn't know any better.
Absolutely. No, do you know what? I actually can't remember why I sold it. Like, the reason why. But there was something about that guitar that I didn't like, right? And that reason has stuck with me through future guitar choices, right?
Yeah.
It was 24 frets.
Yeah.
I don't like 24 frets. That's 2 frets too many, okay?
Yeah.
I just can't. It throws me off massively. And the pickups were, like, really close together. And for me, it just felt really uncomfortable. Because I don't know why. There was just something that it didn't work for me. And I sold that, and from then on, I kind of made it a rule to only go 22 frets because that just felt right, and the pickups aren't so fucking close together because it was so uncomfortable.
I agree.
But that guitar is really cool, and it's kind of cool now to have kind of like the full-blown ESP kind of version of that.
That's what I was going to say. You've got the proper version of that now.
Yeah.
The
E2.
The Eclipse, right?
The ESP.
The E2, that's right.
Yeah, the E2. And fucking love that guitar. But yeah, so that was my first kind of real high-end guitar I got, and I loved it. What about you? What was your first kind of step into the high-end kind of world? You know, it's like, right, I've sold loads of drugs for the man down the road. I got the money. What am I going to get?
Okay, so after that came... not more disappointment, but maybe a step backwards. But I was happy.
Right.
If that makes sense.
There seems to be a lot of disappointment in your journey, Jazz.
There's a lot of disappointment in my life, Matt.
I feel you, bro.
I
feel you, bro.
You know?
I feel you. And that's why we have booze.
So,
if you're having a tough day.
If you're having a rough day.
If you feel like your life is...
Toss back a couple of... cold beverages.
If you feel like your life is nothing but a disappointment, listen to this podcast and jump on the booze wagon with us.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
Drink. Cheers.
I was living in a bush shelter, and then Matt said, "Would you like to do this podcast with me?" And that was the after many bad guitars, that was the first shining light. I was hell bent on Hetfield at that point. And what does Hetfield play? Explorers.
Bitchy. Oh, Explorers.
So I was, and ESP, obviously, I was looking around forever, and I was like, why can't I get one of those white ones that he plays? Gibson Lawsuit, MX 220s, 250s, and stuff like that, and then the custom ones are built for him. Ken Lawrence, Mr. Lawrence will build you one of them if you've got $6,000 in your back pocket, so that was a no-go.
If you've got a spare kidney.
Yeah. So I knew I wanted an Explorer. And I went on the ESP website and I was looking high and low for his shape. And I was like, I don't get it. He plays these. Having no knowledge of how it works and stuff, And those first ones were like custom builds for him, ESP took those guys in and they gave him precisely what they wanted, I think it was Scott Ian who got Kirk into ESP and stuff like that. And Kirk put his first guitar together. Anyway, so I wanted an Explorer and I came across the EX line, which I fucking hate now. I absolutely hate them. But at the time, for me, it was like, oh no, this is cool. This is an Explorer. This is all I can get. Didn't like the Epiphone ones because they looked kind of too... They just didn't look appealing back then. They had the
Hetfield ones, they kind of had that point to them, didn't they? I think was
they were
appealing.
just the right line. They were just, and the big fuck off headstock and all that sort of stuff. So I found the ESP EX series. Now, you had a couple of those. You had the 50s, which was low end. You had the 260s, which were the mid tier. And then you had the 400s at the time. It's 401s now, but back then you had the 400s. And the 400 was nothing I could afford. The 260, I was like, yeah, one day I'll save the money. But then I was a sellout in a way because I saved up enough money to buy an EX50 in black.
Right.
And I ordered that and I was like, fuck it. I just want my Explorer. I've saved.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's a lot of money back then. Or whatever it was, 180, 199 quid. They came and you know what? I was pleased as punch. I was so happy because I could power stance with it. Can't power stance with a Super Strat, right? I remember the first time I heard, I remember playing Harvester of Sorrow with my earphones in, trying to power stance like Hetfield with my Super Strat. Just doesn't feel the same. And I knew at that point I like big fat guitars, right? So that ESP came and I had that for many, many, many years. And I remember thinking to myself, the neck's quite thick on this thing because it was bolt-on. And I was thinking, I know what I'll do. I'll just upgrade the neck on it. So I remember searching high and low. I was on there on the keyboard and I was typing away ESP EX 400 neck. And I was looking high and low for 100. And I didn't know about set necks or neck throughs. I thought they all came with a different neck, so you could just bolt it on. But I had that thing for many years. I sold it to an old friend of mine. And then that's when I made the upgrade, which was my first real guitar.
Right.
Which was the Dave Mustaine Dean Viamento.
Right.
Which I will stand by till this fucking day. And the only reason I sold that was to get the Matt Tuck BC Rich, which I don't regret. I don't regret that. As far as I'm concerned, that's the ultimate for me. But yeah, that was my first upgrade. Basically, what happened was I was in sixth form at the time, and I wanted a Flying V because I got into both my Valentine and they played Flying Vs and stuff like that, and I knew my EX50 wasn't good. I just knew it wasn't good at all after many years of playing it, and I just knew I wanted the next. It's just in you. You want the next progression.
Yeah.
And I went to the music shop because you had free breaks in sixth form, or free lessons even. So I just went uptown, went to the music shop, and there was this VMNT. I knew who Dave Mustaine was, obviously. Never listened to Megadeth before or anything like that. But this big black V sat on the wall, and I was like, oh, they've got one of those. And it's 570 quid. Brand new. And Matt's laughing here because he's thinking, fuck Dave. But I'm thinking, I just saw a big fuck off V. Why are you laughing, Matt?
I was like,
So there's a big black V on the wall, and I knew what it was, and I picked it off the wall. And I took a chance because I got my £30 a week EMA back then, which is what you had as a student. And I said, I don't suppose you do these on finance, do you? And they were like, yeah, of course we do. You pay it off, and it's yours. So I said, right, here's £30. Honestly, I said, I'll be right back. I went to the cash point, drew £30 out and said, there you go. He printed off a receipt. That was it. And every single week when I would get my money, that would come out. It either went on, the whole of it was that, or the rest went on a Subway and then you'd get 20 quid. But paid. Yeah. Steak and cheese. Absolutely love it with the Southwest sauce.
Subway, if you want to sponsor this podcast, hook us up.
Yeah, do it.
We're a huge fan of the 12 inches.
And then, yeah, we are. And then When I finally at the end paid that thing off, because obviously like I had a little bit of help and my nan helped me out with it. But it took many months to pay that thing off, and I thought, well, I might as well wise myself up to what I'm getting. That's how I got into Megadeth, just like watching stuff online. And then I got that thing home, came in the hard case, and I just knew it was like, compared to all the other guitars that I'd owned, it was like premium shit. It was like a good, it had the active pickups in it, the live wires, Seaman Duncan. That guitar was with me for a long time. If you go on my Instagram, you can scroll back and see a very sort of old video of me when I was like 16 playing it on stage. And yeah, that was a very, very, very special guitar for me.
Do you know what? I think that's like, if here's another teachable moment. Shit, mate, we should just start life lessons on this fucking podcast.
Yeah, of course. As a matter of fact, let's start a Patreon.
Yeah.
You get these if you sign up for our Patreon.
Yes. But yeah, that's a cool story though. I like that. Look at you being all little and just, he's adorable, isn't he? Can we get some love for Jazz being all adorable? So guys, there we go. That is episode 7. I'm having a good time. You having a good time, Jazz?
Yeah, I'm having the best time.
People watching,
life,
listening, you having a good time? Let us know down below. Episode 7, discussing the beginning of it all for us. You know, our first guitars and all that cool shit. I've had a good time. Let us know down below in the comments what your first ever guitar was. And the story, mate, give us a fucking essay in the comments, yeah? Give us something to read while we're pooping. About your whole story. Because people know I read all your comments. I reply to everyone.
Yeah.
So give us a story. Give us something to read while we're taking a dump.
And yeah, I mean, absolutely, because it's just like, obviously I read all these comments as well, you know? So like, we are genuinely interested, like, in what you guys have your stories and stuff like that. We really enjoy it. So 100%. Let us know.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you not follow us on Spotify, the link will be below. Go hit that follow on Spotify so you can listen to it when you're doing whatever you do, when you're not in the house, you know, if you're driving.
You're driving and drinking.
Follow us, and tell all your friends to follow us as well, because we are the hypest. I made a playlist for this called the hypest podcasts in the game.
Okay.
Because that's what we do. So yeah, so this is obviously part 1. We're going to do a part 2 where we move on to our more high-end guitars. And, you know, the guitars that got away, and maybe, you know, what we're looking forward to getting in the future, because it never stops when you're a guitar player.
Absolutely.
There's always another fucking thing you want. So, episode 7. If you're not subscribed to Jazz, go subscribe to him now, because I will come and put my balls in your mouth.
Nothing to do with
That's
me.
all me.
That's a personal vendetta.
Right? That's all me. I'll take full responsibility. Just wait. Just let me... Let me pop a fresh one.
Oh, I fall asleep.
You've got a Matt the Riff Master Chug V and a Black Star, but then you've also got.
Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to be talking about ESP guitars.
Vagina. You are.
If you don't have a drinking problem, you're going to have.
You are good enough. You are good enough.
You can own. I can go in ear to ear now, like binaural. You can.
On channel memberships, if you are not a channel member, come and join my channel memberships, where you get to see the behind the scenes kind of like uncut raw shit of me in the studio, what I do before videos, or if I'm out being a complete dick somewhere. You can come and see that. So hit that join button. If you don't see the join button, there's a link below where you can become an official VIP member.
Harassing guitar shops.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let me play that guitar. I'm not gonna fucking buy it, but just let me play it, do a video.
It's content, bitch. So yeah, guys, episode 7. This was a good one. Always fun to hang out with Jazz and you guys. I think in a few episodes coming up, we should get Jack, one of my members, on.
Yeah,
Jack, if you're watching this,
absolutely.
Get ready, son. Get ready for the absolute onslaught that we are going to put you through. Okay?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
you got to earn it.
You got to earn it, bitch. Guys, you guys are awesome. This has been fun. Episode 7. Stay tuned for next week. It'll be coming out. It's out now, but next week we'll do the part 2 where we carry on rambling about guitars, because fuck, we can go on forever. And in true loud and proud Riffmaster family fashion, raise your beverages.
And here he comes, bringing more beverages.
Guys, you rock. Riffmaster family for life, loud and proud family for life. Tell all your friends about us and come and drink. And what you could do is actually invite all your friends, come hang out all together, listen to us on a Wednesday, and we can all hang out and get weird together.
Yeah, there we go.
As always, rock out. Be awesome. Let's chug our beverages. And see ya.
See ya.